everyone, Linda Hildman here for Canadian Beats. I am here in Toronto, Ontario, along McQuaid on Bloor Street, right? Okay. And this lovely lady is Anna Mernieks with the band Beams. Welcome, Anna.
Hey, thanks.
So Beams is an interesting band name. How did you come up with this band name?
Well, we needed a name, and I thought that I would just do a brainstorming on paper of all of the words that kind of described this group of, it was 8 people at the time, but this sort of large group of people. And I was trying to come up with something that described how we kind of support each other. And one of the words was beams, for support beams.
Nice.
So we just ran with that.
Beams can have a number of different meanings.
Mm-hmm.
I think beams of light, I say supportive beams for structures, yeah, many different things like that, sunbeams, stuff like that. It's really cool. Good, good. Now, when did the band form?
March 2011.
Okay, so you've
Yeah.
been around for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you're from Toronto?
We're all from the suburbs mostly. I'm not sure any of us are actually from Toronto itself.
Well, the GTA.
Yeah, we're all from the GTA. Yeah.
Yes, I know. I grew up here, so a lot of it, people say, where are you from? Oh, Toronto. Because if you say Scarborough, Agincourt, North York, they don't really get it. Like, where is that? Oh, it's just part of the Greater Sudbury area.
Yeah.
Sorry, Greater Toronto area. I live in Sudbury.
Oh, nice.
I slipped.
That's pretty fun. Yeah, we're from Mississauga, Brampton, Oshawa, Whitby, and Aurora, and Scarborough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's actually a lot of people in this band.
Yeah.
So how many are there in total?
There's 7.
7. Okay. Alrighty. And you all play very unique instruments, primarily. I mean, there's drums, but you play banjo.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a singing saw,
Mm-hmm.
and some other interesting instruments in the band as well,
Mm-hmm.
which would give you a sound that you really don't hear anywhere else.
Yeah, we have that going for us, if that's a good thing.
It's a good thing, yes.
Yeah, it happened quite by accident. I was playing the banjo because I had one, and that I like playing anything that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And someone came over and started playing guitar with me, and then Mike started playing drums with me, and slowly the band started filling in. And how the saw happened was Keith asked if he could come jam, and I said, well, you know, we already have drums, bass, guitar, banjo, like 2 vocals. Like, I don't really know what you're gonna do. And he said, don't worry. And then he showed up with the saw.
Singing saw.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. Yeah.
That's great. I listened to the new album, which is your second album. You had one in 2013
Mm-hmm.
that you released. Sorry, I gotta go to the cheat notes. Called Just Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's been 5 years. I really liked what I heard. I had some key songs that really stood out to me.
Sweet.
Obviously the first one, Berlin, Teach Me to Love, which Teach Me to Love is the title of the new album.
Mm-hmm.
Apartment in My Head.
Hmm.
It's the lyrics in that one, the melody and the lyrics. There's some really interesting lyrics on this album. Others, there's that Dreamcatcher, You Are an Ocean. Love the lyrics on that, and I'm Going on Holiday. They're the 5 that really stood out to me.
Sweet.
On the 10 tracks.
Thanks. I like those ones a lot too. But I'm partial.
So, are you the sole songwriter for the band?
Yeah. The lyrics and the initial chord, yeah.
Okay.
Everything.
Okay. Alrighty. So, your journey on writing this album was a little bit different from your first one. Tell us the story behind that.
Well, it was different in the sense that I knew what we could sound like. So how I write is I jam a bit, I write some poetry, and either one finds the other eventually, and I end up with songs. Previously, how I had always written was I didn't know what kind of band I would have, so I wanted it to sound good if it was just me. But knowing what we could sound like was a little freeing, because then I could write songs like Live in the Real World that are very, very sparse on banjo, and know that it was going to be filled in. Yeah. But where I wrote the songs on this was interesting, because I was traveling in Europe and I was living in the forest and things like that.
Wow.
So some of the influences were a little bit more different than the last album.
We get back to your sound. I mean, some people call it borders on bluegrass, and I guess that's because the banjo's in there.
Most likely.
But it's really undefinable. Like I would have trouble saying, okay, you sound like this or you sound like this, with the different instruments that are in there. The album is released on the 23rd of February, and you're actually doing a CD release party. Okay, back to the cheat notes. The Smiling Buddha.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We're doing that with CATL and L Con.
Oh, is that how you? Okay, I just saw CATL. CATL. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All these fancy spellings. Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Hopefully our vinyl will be ready in time. It's our first time doing like full size vinyl.
A lot of bands are doing that now. Now, is your vinyl going to include digital download as well, which a lot of people are doing as well with their releases. I'm definitely old school. I still have a good 300 odd albums from my days of growing up, and a really wicked CD collection too now.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see vinyl coming back. I just like that format, and it seems the vinyl is a better grade than it used to be back in the day.
Possibly. Yeah.
So that's good. That's good. Just getting back to your inspiration for this album. You were going through some dark times. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really intense.
You were supposed to be married, getting married to one of the band members.
Yeah.
Did that didn't happen?
No, it didn't. Yeah. So when you're in depression, the way that you think kind of changes. So I had become really paranoid. Like, I didn't believe anyone's intentions were good. So I thought I just had to get away from everyone and everything. So that's kind of how that happened.
It's hard. I suffer from depression, and those low points, it's just, you just feel nobody understands. Trust issues, you don't trust anybody, and I go into what I call cocoon state.
Right, that's kind of what happened for a while, like maybe a couple years. So.
And then somehow I call it cocooning because I know personally I go through a metamorphosis, and I write, whether it just be writing in my journal about how I'm feeling, stuff like that, just to get it out there, and then it's baby steps to make it happen. But you did the writing, but you did it creatively into music.
Right.
Which is good.
Yeah. It was all I knew what to do at the time. That's funny that you say metamorphosis, because I was thinking about getting a tattoo of the metamorphosis cycle of a butterfly, but of them turning back into an egg at the end again, to imply that there are multiple cycles.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's a daily battle, and for people who have no clue what it's like, it's a horrible, horrible feeling.
Yeah, I can't imagine not knowing what it's like. It's hard for me to imagine that there are people that don't suffer from some sort of anxiety or depression. But I guess they're out there, which is great. I'm glad that's possible. I have no idea what it would be like.
But then they probably deal with other battles that...
Yeah. Everyone has their own.
But I find very creative people, music people who are musical, people who are artistic with drawing and stuff like that. Anybody in that creative vein seems to struggle a little bit more than people who aren't, like that are very business minded and you know, whatever you call them, not artistic. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, maybe it comes from questioning things from a creative standpoint, and also maybe a lot of artists tend to be a little bit more on the broke side, which has its own challenges. So there's probably a lot of factors.
So do you have any Canadian musicians, artists that you draw inspiration from at all?
I really like Kathleen Edwards.
Oh, she is good, yes.
Yeah.
She's a little out there, but again, if you listen to her lyrics, she's
really great. Her stories are so like raw and relatable. And who else? Well, I'm not sure. I listen to the music in my head a lot.
Yeah. Well, being Canadian Beats, we do ask that question frequently just to see who's Canadian and who you're listening to.
Yeah, I really like Dave Allen. He used to be in a band called Stone Trotter. And there's Courtney Dubois came from that band, and so did Ben Pearson. They were like a super group of great musicians. So I listen to them a lot. And who else is there that's great? A lot of my friends' bands are awesome.
That's okay, give them a plug.
Yeah, well, I'm working with a woman now who used to be in a band called Rival Boys. So they were my favorite band, R.I.P. All of them are alive, just the band is not together anymore. And we're called Ace of Wands. And then my partner Mike is in a band called Experts, which is a krautrock sort of 80s synth sort of band, which is really great. And then he's also in a band called Germaphobes. They're called Goosebump now. Yeah. There's so many great bands in our scene. Keith, the saw player, has his own band called the Hamilton Trading Company. So, yeah. Probably forgetting some great other ones. Oh, the Louis are great too.
Not living in Toronto anymore, I'm kind of out of touch with the Toronto music scene. Yeah, I hear of certain bands with people that we get asked to cover and stuff like that. But there's people living here that know a whole lot more about what's going on musically in Toronto than I do these days. So I like hearing names, and then it's like, oh, okay. So if I see it pop up, it's like, oh, it's one that was mentioned.
Yeah. And I mean, even I only know like a fraction. And there's so many people to know.
One thing about Toronto, you can see live music pretty much any night of the week.
Oh, definitely.
And it's a great place to be. Definitely. Alrighty. So, just to refresh, the new album is called Teach Me to Love, out February 23rd. And if anyone wants to come out to the show, there are tickets available. Yeah,
we have them on Ticketfly. We're also on our Bandcamp. We have a promotion right now where if you pre-order the vinyl and a ticket, then you get the poster for free.
Oh, nice.
So that helps us get our sales going and add a little incentive. And, yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for joining me today to chat.
Yeah,
enjoyed it. Okay. Now let's see if I get the last name right. We've been speaking with Anna Mernieks. Oh.
You're halfway there.
Mernieks.
Mernieks.
Okay.
You can blame my grandma.
That's okay. That's okay. And the band Beams. Please check them out. We'll put up their socials. And I am one to help them for Canadian Beats.